The fall is about results. It's about answers. But before we get there, we gotta know the right questions to ask. I got one question for each NFL quarterback for the 2025 season. It's not an exaggeration to say that the answers to some of these questions will dictate the next decade for some of these franchises. We've got 3 rules before we get into this. First, the questions that are not allowed are as follows. Is this the year? Can he stay healthy? Are you the guy or the franchise guy? Or as the cool kids say, are you him? Second, I go division by division, no skipping. Last rule, I can't spend more than a minute on any single quarterback. Got it? Well, let's start in my neck of the woods, the NFC West. Kyler Murray, will you be fast in January? The Cardinals have made every roster decision over the past 2 years like they have a franchise quarterback. They have pieces like Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Paris Johnson Jr. on cheap deals. Yet, Kyler is consistently inconsistent. Looking too fast for anyone on the field to catch him in September, but then getting swallowed up in big games come wintertime. Matthew Stafford, can you get 14 more yards? People forget that was the literal distance between the Rams beating the eventual Super Bowl champs. Sam Darnold, will you answer my text? Nah, I'm just kidding. I haven't asked him to come on the channel yet. Maybe that's a 100K subs thing. So yeah, hey, subscribe down below. My real question for Sam is the one that everyone has. Are you just a product of Kevin O'Connell's offense? I don't think so. You saw Sam play better ball in Carolina than he did in New York, then play better ball in San Francisco than he did Carolina, then play his best ball so far in Minnesota. I think the monkey's off Sam's back as to whether or not he can be an NFL quarterback. We all know he can be. I think there's a lot more ceiling left for Sam to tap into. Brock Purdy, are you a $50 million per year guy? The difference between being a nice young quarterback on a rookie deal that we can build around and being the guy is a big one. Let's head south. Bryce Young, it can't just be all up and to the right from here, right? The dude's literally Drew Brees if that ends up being the case. Michael Penix Jr., are you going to prove me right? I stood by the Falcons last year when they took him top 10 overall and got roasted for it. The pieces are there for him to win the NFC South in his first season as the starter. Tyler Shuck, can you handle the shortest leash we've ever seen in recent memory on a rookie quarterback? If the dude doesn't win in year 1, he's gone. Fans weren't clamoring for him. He's 26, and the second round is a weird place to be taken. Andy Dalton, Jimmy Clausen, and Jalen Hurts. All guys who were second rounders with incredibly different paths. Tyler can't run like Jalen, so he's got to channel his inner Andy Dalton and win games early. People forget, Andy won 50 games in his first 5 seasons. Baker Mayfield, can you play in the NFC Championship game? This is honestly not a knock. It's a testament to how far Baker has come since Cleveland ran him out of town and Carolina moved on. I don't think winning playoff games is good enough anymore. The next step is being one of the final 4. Let's get to the best division in football last year. Caleb Williams, can you trust the new guy? Ben Johnson's Lions offense was elite at using pre-snap motion and layering routes to create defined throws. For Caleb, that's crucial. The dude's so good off script, sometimes he just skips the script, especially when it's not a good one to begin with, just like it was in 2024. Johnson's gonna manufacture spacing to make sure the first and second read is too open to pass up. I'm thinking early Tua in Miami with more vertical threats. Jared Goff, can you stand on your own? Jared Goff's career hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows, but when we look back at the 2 dudes that have called his plays, it's 2 of the dudes that are the best we've seen in the past decade. Sean McVay and Ben Johnson. I'm not saying John Morton doesn't have a chance to be a great play caller. It's just the odds that Goff goes 3 for 3 on generational schematic minds are pretty slim. Jordan Love, can you be boring? The dude's got every club in the bag. He makes jaw-dropping throws. If he can learn to avoid risk, learn to be boring, the Packers can win the toughest division in the league. JJ McCarthy, how good are you at listening? Listen, I played at USC. I don't think if you drop me into Kevin O'Connell's offense, I could have success tomorrow, but I do think the bar for talent to have success there is lower than just about any other organization in the league. Now let's get to the mess. It's the division on all of our televisions, whether we like it or not, the NFC East. Dak Prescott, are you sick of all this? Listen, I know he's not perfect, but I think the pendulum has swung so far the other way on Dak that I think we're forgetting this dude is an actual good quarterback. If he didn't have the star on the side of his helmet or an insane oil tycoon in the owner's box, he'd probably be less rich, but I think he'd have a happier, more successful career. Jalen Hurts, how crazy are you? It takes a certain psychosis to reach the mountaintop of a sport and then rededicate yourself quickly enough and completely enough to get there again. There are probably some healthy ways to do it, but the way we celebrate in America, it's the Jordan way, which requires making up villains for yourself, convincing yourself no one believes in you. In other words, just being crazy. Jaden Daniels, can you avoid avoid the sophomore slump. I did a whole video on this on my channel. I can guarantee if you're this far into this video, you're gonna love it. I'll link it up above and in the end card. Go check it out after this one. Russell Wilson, remember me? Jameis Winston, you know, can you just go host a talk show on network television so you don't steal my YouTube views when you inevitably come over to dominate the media game? And Jackson Dart, are you gonna do the eye black in the NFL? Are you going on Love Island? We got a lot of questions over here. If you can't be the franchise guy, be fun. And the Giants QB room is fun. Now let's check in on the MVP of his division mates. Josh Allen. What you do this year will probably dictate the fate of the Lombardi, so I gotta make this one count. Let's see. What did Larry David and Mitchell Trubisky talk about at your wedding? Haley Seinfeld in 17 tied the knot this summer, and I want the full curb episode of Larry trying to understand the life of a backup quarterback. Tua Tagovailoa. Can you be cold? Tua is 1-7 in games 50 degrees or below. 0-4 in games 40 degrees or below. And 0-2 in games 32 degrees or below. Drake Maye. Can you force them to find a different word than flashes? Vrabel's first 4 picks in the 2025 draft were all about supporting Drake Maye. Young talent won't fix everything, but the bar is higher. Hearing, oh, Drake did some nice things at the end of the game, thought we saw some flashes after a 10th loss is the kind of cope that usually only lasts a year. Justin Fields. Can you get the ball to Garrett Wilson? In their 2 seasons together at Ohio State, Justin had a 133 passer rating when targeting Garrett with 22 receptions of 20+ yards. You want to win? Get the ball to Wilson.
Y'all want to win? Put Booby in.
Moving on to the no love lost, where it just means more, and insert another cliche this division co-opted, the AFC North. Lamar Jackson, will you be my generation's Allen Iverson? The dude does things with the ball that we've never seen before. He has an impact culturally we don't typically see. He's beloved by the city that he plays in. He just doesn't have a ring. Joe Burrow, my guy, will you ever leave Cincinnati? An NFL record, 7 straight games with at least 250 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Bengals franchise records, 460 completions, 4,900 yards, and 43 touchdowns last season. If ownership and management can't get excited enough about that to spend money on the team around this guy, I don't think they ever will. Here we go. Joe Flacco, how much magic is left? Kenny Pickett, can you be back-to-back-to-back preseason MVPs? Deshaun Watson, is your next move to take a cheap deal on a desperate team in 2026? Hey, Dylan Gabriel, how much Brock Purdy film are you watching? Shadur Sanders, week 1 QB1?
I've heard he's been outstanding in the building.
Like I said with the Giants, if you can't find your guy, still gotta take shots. Aaron Rodgers. What was Mike Tomlin's pitch? Tomlin has famously managed big egos. Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, and Ben Roethlisberger were all in his locker room at the same time. I can't imagine part of that process was promising those guys anything, but I also can't imagine Rodgers signing without promises made. This is going to be fascinating. To the division where every quarterback is younger than me. I don't know if this is the first time this has happened, but it is the first time that I'm aware of it. CJ Stroud, how quickly can the big guys up front get on the same page? Caleb Williams was sacked 68 times last year. That rightfully stole all the headlines, but sitting at number 2 was CJ Stroud, who was sacked 52 times. Through the draft and free agency, the Texans have added 5 new offensive linemen that are expected to be on the regular season roster. Anthony Richardson, are you okay? Daniel Jones, are you okay? These guys have fallen short of expectations, but injuries have been a big part of both their stories. Trevor Lawrence, is this the year that I give up? Trevor is an outstanding quarterback and by all accounts an outstanding dude, but the reality is he was billed as a Peyton Manning, John Elway, Andrew Luck level prospect. Number 1 since day 1. I believe he can still get there, but if 2025 looks like 2024, I won't be saying that this time next year. Cam Ward, can you do what you did at Miami? I don't mean the on the field stuff. Caleb Williams showed us last year how even the best playmakers in college can't hold onto the ball that long in the NFL. I'm talking about off the field. Everyone around Miami said he changed the culture from his very first workout there. That's tougher to do when your teammates are on their 3rd kid and have seen dudes like you come and go for the past 12 years. And we made it right back around to the best coast. Let's talk the AFC West. Bo Nix, can you make a stupid play? 34 total touchdowns, 3rd most by a rookie quarterback in NFL history. He was really good at taking what the defense gave him in Sean Payton's offense. But this is the guy that made 7 defenders miss before tossing up a touchdown in college. Like, this is wild. We do not see this Bo Nix anymore. Whoop! That's some NFL street stuff right there. I feel like if Bo Nix pulled that out, Sean Payton might have a heart attack. Payton wants Nix to be boring, and that's usually a good call in the NFL, but I want to see this. This is exciting. Patrick Mahomes, what if you guys get Brandon Ayuk? This might be outdated by the time you're watching this, but in June of 2025, the thought of the Chiefs adding Ayuk on top of getting Rashee Rice back should be frightening to everyone else in the division. Justin Herbert, I know you don't care, but can you shut the internet up? I've never met another quarterback that didn't think Justin Herbert was awesome. Also, you know that total touchdowns by a rookie QB list I mentioned with Bo? Herbert's number 1 on it. So why does the internet think this guy is overrated? Geno Smith, does the rest of the league know what they did, letting you play half your games in a dome? In 14 games at dome stadiums, Geno has thrown 30 touchdowns versus just 5 interceptions with a 110.8 passer rating. That's it. We've got our questions. Now I'm ready for the answers.